mind for success and happiness with NLP Magic. I am Shenoy Manek, your transformation coach. And in this video, which is the second of the series on how to overcome depression, I am going to be sharing with you some more reasons why people go deeper into depression and 5 more steps with which anybody can overcome depression. Now, in my previous video, I had spoken about what is depression and 5 steps, 5 very powerful steps, including NLP techniques on how you can overcome any kind of depression. However, I think anybody who has ever experienced depression in their life, if it's for a short duration or they have been experiencing depression again and again in the past, will know that it is not so easy to come out of depression. And that is the precise reason why so many people are on medication, are trying so hard to come out of that, right? So I did not think that one video would be adequate to address the entire topic of depression, hence this second episode. Now, in today's video, I am going to be sharing with you 5 more powerful steps with which you can overcome depression. But before I tell you about these 5 steps, hi Primanshu, thank you. Before I tell you about these 5 powerful steps, let us first understand why do people actually go into deep depression. As we discussed in the last video, depression is actually not a disease, it's a state. It's a state of mind and body that a person gets into. Sometimes they know why they have gotten into that state because something's not working in their life and hence they are feeling the way they're feeling. Sometimes there's no apparent reason why they feel that way. One fine morning, they just wake up and there's this gloom, there's a cloud and they feel blue. And while many people feel depressed sometimes, others might feel depressed quite a bit and might feel depression for longer durations. I have known people who have experienced depression sometimes for months and years and don't know how to come out of it. So why does this happen? When it is just a state, why do people get into it so deep? So let us first discuss that. So the first reason why people get so deep into depression is because, now let us say you experience depression once, right? And you're like, okay, I'm feeling low, I'm feeling depressed, and you stay there for a couple of days or weeks, and then you start feeling better. And you think that you're all right. And all of a sudden, another day, you again start feeling depressed. And maybe the 3rd month, you again start feeling depressed. The reason can be anything. But over a period of time, when people start feeling depressed over and over again, they start saying that I am depressed. I am a person who has depression. Now, depression is like any other condition, any other mental condition. But if you're feeling, if you have a cold, you're not going to say, oh, I am cold. But when anybody feels depression, they associate with themselves and their identity turns into that of a depressed person. And once you identify yourself as a depressed person, depression gets stuck to you, which means that it is only logical that it's going to come back again and again and again and again and again. Now, don't misunderstand me. I'm not saying that you have control over depression. Sometimes there is no control over depression. It just comes over because there are many reasons. It may be because of hormones. It may be because of certain chemical changes in the mind and the body. It may be because of your situations. But it would be great if you could say instead that I am feeling depressed right now, instead of saying I am a depressed person, because this gives you more power to overcome that depression rather than making it your identity. The second reason I have seen that people go deeper and deeper into depression is the stigma that is attached to depression. So many people suffer from depression. They feel it. They are going through it every single day and night. They're not able to sleep. They're restless. They don't eat, or they eat too much. They lack energy. They don't socialize. They keep themselves in their lonely shells, and they're having a terrible time with inside their mind and body. But because of the stigma attached to it, while they say to themselves, I am depressed, they do not admit it to anybody else. So the stigma stops them from even speaking about it. there is guilt, there is shame associated with depression. So the person doesn't speak to anyone. They tend to stay within their shell. And because of this, the depression tends to keep growing on and on and on and on and on. So the I am fine syndrome, or whenever somebody asks you, how are you feeling? Rather than admitting that, yes, I am feeling a little low, saying that, oh no, I'm fine, and not talking to anybody about it is another reason why people get deeply into depression. Now, the third reason, now, if you know anybody who has ever been depressed in the past, or you know somebody currently, including yourself or any friend or a family member who is depressed, please write yes in the comment section. So it's a way for you to say that, yes, you care about this, you care about people around you who may be going through depression. So do type in a yes as a support to everybody who feels this emotion. Now, third reason why people go deeper and deeper into depression is accepting the fact, actually it's not a fact, but many people say it's a fact, that depression is not curable. You go to psychiatrists, and if you go to the internet, there will be so many videos which tell you that there is no cure to depression, that nobody can cure you. You can take medication, you can control it, but you cannot overcome it. Now, I personally don't believe it, and I said it in the previous video too, because I don't consider depression a disease. I consider it a state. But because there's so many people telling you that depression is not curable, people accept it as a disease within them, and they go take psychiatric treatment. I have known people who have felt depression for a month, and they have gone and taken medication for depression, and since then they've been on medication for years now. And there are so many side effects. There are so many other so many other things you suffer with when you take these medications. So the third reason why people get stuck with depression for long periods of time is by accepting that it doesn't have any cure. Once you accept the fact that it is not a disease and I can overcome it, it may be difficult, it may take me a little long, but I can overcome depression. If you accept that fact, if we can overcome cancer, why can't we overcome depression? It's just a mental condition. Yes, not demeaning it, it's a difficult condition, I agree with you. But it is absolutely possible to overcome depression with the right attitude. And two attitudes that you can develop. If you are feeling depression right now, or you know anybody else who is feeling depression right now, or has been in depression for some time, two things can help them overcome depression faster than anything else. One is patience. Have patience with yourself. If you're feeling depression, you're feeling it. There's no need to be guilty. There's no need to feel shame about it. It's like getting a cold or a cough or any other physical or mental condition. It is not in your control. So have patience. They say that a cold lasts for 7 days or 1 week. Not a day more, not a day less. So sometimes depression just has to pass its course. You just have to live through that feeling of feeling low for some time and try your best to come out. There is no point in feeling even more worse because you're feeling depressed. So accept that condition, have patience with yourself. And the second trait that makes people overcome depression quickly is the willingness to be happy again. I have seen many people who reach that stage when they come to me and they say, Seema, no, I can't take it any longer. I don't want to be depressed anymore. It's affected my life, my relationship, my work, my spouse doesn't know what the hell I'm doing. My children are tired and frustrated. So they really want to be happy again. And they don't want to believe in all this bullshit that it cannot get better. When you get yourself to that attitude that you can get better, that's the second trait. So be patient with yourself. Sometimes it takes time. And second, build your willingness to be happy again. And I have spoken about one technique of how you can do that in my previous video. So if you haven't watched episode 1 of this series, go back after this video, go back and watch that episode as well. That's also uploaded in our channel. Now, 5 steps with which 5 more steps, I have discussed 5 steps in the previous video, 5 more steps with which anybody in depression can overcome and feel better again and become happier again. One thing everybody must know about depression, whether you are going through it or somebody else, when a person is in depression, even the smallest tasks feel like mountains. It feels so difficult to even get yourself out of bed or do the smallest of things. There's absolutely no patience, no energy for anything. So for a person to like snap out of it, that's not possible. So if you're somebody caring for somebody who is going through depression, please don't tell them to snap out of it. They cannot. If they could, they would have already snapped out of it. So start small. If things look big, start doing small things. Like I have experienced depression in the past. When I was going through difficult times in my life, I have felt very depressed and been there, seen that, and I know how difficult it can get. So the first thing you can do is try and live in the present moment, in now. People in depression tend to be either thinking of what went wrong in the past or worrying about the future. The best thing you can do for yourself right now is not to give yourself any more tension than you're already feeling. So stay in the now. And how can you stay in the now? Engage in things that help you stay in the now, like some kind of an art, craft, creativity, gardening, get close to Mother Earth, going for walks in the sun, singing, listening to music, small things. Add these small things in your daily ritual, some ritual every single day, so that you can live in the moment. Meditation helps and works wonders. If you're not able to meditate, that's absolutely fine as well. Pick your choice, but do something, maybe coloring, these wonderful coloring books that are out in the market right now. Ask your spouse or somebody else to buy a coloring book for you. Your parents, ask them to buy a coloring book, some colors, and sit and just do something every day that helps you stay in the moment. That's one amazing way to feel more positive. The second thing that I think everybody in depression must do is to speak to somebody with an intent of seeking help. I have noticed that a lot of people in depression do not talk. We've already spoken about this, that there is a lot of stigma, so they don't want to openly admit that they're feeling low. They don't want to bother people around them. They feel ashamed about it, so they don't speak, right? So speak to people, but with an intent to ask for help. Like I remember in the past when I used to feel depressed, I would immediately identify that, okay, I'm starting to feel depressed. Today, I'm not feeling all right. And at that moment, when I'm feeling that way, I would tell everybody around me that, you know what, today I'm not feeling okay. I don't have energy. I don't have patience. I'm feeling really low. So please have patience with me, right? So you could do that, or seek help from anybody around you who you think cares for you. It can be your parent, it can be a friend, it can be a coach, a counselor, a trainer, a therapist, anybody who you know cares for you genuinely. And it must be a wise person. Don't go and ask a friend who is going to say, hey, snap out of it, it's no big deal. Talk to somebody who has patience to listen to you. Scientific research shows that people with depression, almost half of them have suicidal tendencies. And just speaking about your feelings and the fact that you feel like taking your life to somebody else reduces the chances of suicide. So imagine, by reaching out to somebody who is going through depression, you may be saving their life. So if you know somebody who is currently going through depression, and you know for a fact, and if you know somebody, please comment yes. If you know somebody in your family, any friends, somebody in office, somebody you coach, counsel, if you know even one person who you know suffers from depression, type a yes in the comment section as your dedication towards this cause, and showing all of us that you care as well. So type in a yes there and speak to these people. Speaking really helps, right? Reach out to these people and talk to them. The third thing that you can do, so the first one was living in the moment, second is speaking with an intent to seek help, and the third is have an anchor. Have an anchor. You cannot be like a ship which has no anchor, drifting wherever the winds are taking them. It's very easy to sink deeper and deeper into depression when you don't have something to hold on to. And what do I mean by anchor? Personally, for me, My God is my anchor. So I so staunchly believe in God, and I believe that God is going to be there even in the worst of my times, that I get some kind of a strength from God. Now, you can have anything as anchor, maybe your plants, nature, maybe a person, a friend, who you trust in. Even something like look at the stone that I have. It's a crystal. It's called a rose quartz crystal. It's got a beautiful pink color. So I kind of hold on to it sometimes, and I use this and meditate and use this as an anchor to feel better. Anything to hold on to trust, to feel that there is something or somebody for you. Even meditation or prayer. Some people say the Hanuman Chalisa and then they start feeling better. So have any one anchor. So when you're feeling really low, you can turn towards that anchor and you can balance yourself. So that was number 3. Number 4 is be gentle with yourself. Be kind to yourself. There is already enough unkindness in this world. Be kind to yourself. It's okay to feel depressed. It's okay to get angry sometimes. It's okay to feel low. It's okay to cry. Everything is okay. So be kind to yourself. And there is a beautiful NLP technique that you can use to increase your self-love and to start really loving and accepting yourself. So what you do in this technique is that in your mind's eye, you imagine yourself as a 5-year-old child. Now you can imagine a 2-year-old or a 10-year-old, a young child. Imagine yourself as a young child. So from your mind's eye, you look at this young self, yourself, and have a conversation or go and meet that young self of the little yourself in your mind's eye. So when I do it, I imagine myself as a little cute, innocent 5-year-old child. And in my mind's eye, I go and have a conversation with this child. And I go sit next to her. I give her a hug and I tell her that I love you. I love you. I care for you and I'm there for you for the rest of your life. No matter what anybody else says, no matter what mistakes you make in your life in the future, no matter what you go through, even if nobody is there for you, I am going to be there for you because I love you. I'm your guardian angel. And I have a conversation with this little 5-year-old child, hug it and give that child so much love. This is an amazing technique to create self-love. Because if you're not able to love yourself the way you are currently, maybe you made mistakes in life and you don't accept yourself the way you are, it is difficult to not love that 5-year-old. And you are the same person. You are just that 5-year-old who has grown up. So when you go back in your mind's eye again and again and again and again, and you give love to yourself, you heal yourself from within and you start feeling better about yourself and you start loving and accepting yourself much more. And this is one of the most powerful ways to overcome depression. The 5th step is this too shall pass phrase, and I love it. Just like a cold passes, everything in life passes, depression also passes. After every dark night, there is a morning. And just by telling yourself that this too shall pass, this is not forever. I just have to endure this right now. I'm not saying that you got to endure. There are so many techniques I've shared with you in the previous video and in this video in which you can use them, you can powerfully come out of it. I have seen people come out of depression in the matter of hours sometimes. So you don't have to take time. But in case it's difficult for you and you are taking the time, it's okay. Just keep saying this too shall pass and keep using all the techniques that I have shared with you in this video and in the previous video. And if you missed the previous video, please go back and watch that video as well. As a person who is going through depression or as a person who cares for somebody else who is going through depression, make sure you're watching both these videos end to end. Now, if you're watching this as a broadcast in our YouTube channel, NLP Magic, please consider subscribing to our channel because I'm going to be coming up with some amazing content related to how you can program your mind for success and happiness using neuro-linguistic programming. I'm going to be coming up with more content on how you can live your life more happily and more powerfully. So I hope you have enjoyed this video today and you've got some techniques, some insights, and you're going to go back. And if you're going to be using any of these, you may not be depressed, but you may still want to use these techniques. Just say, I get you, right? Just type in, I get you. so that you encourage me to make more such videos. And I'm looking forward to see you very soon in another video. So thank you very much, everybody, for joining me today. I'm going to see you next week with another video. Bye-bye and have a wonderful week. See you.